and the representatives of the respective signing sites can join in the photo opportunity towards the end of the signing right here on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the first of the signing is a joint venture agreement between Chaudhary Group and Sharaf Group for the development of multi-model logistics park. May I invite on stage Mr. Nirvan Chaudhary, the Managing Director of CG Corp Global, and Mr. Salah Sharaf, the Executive Director, Sharaf Group, for the signing ceremony. Representatives from the signing sides may join a quick photo op. Now, the second signing ceremony, that is of a JVA, again a joint venture agreement between Chaudhary Group and Sky Power for the development of 600 megawatts utility scale solar power projects in Nepal. I have the pleasure of inviting up on stage the signatories, namely Mr. Nirvan Chaudhary, Managing Director, Chaudhary Group, and Mr. Kerry Adler, President and CEO, Sky Power. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the third is signing of a joint venture agreement again between CG Lifecell and Turkcell for 5G mobile network service. My pleasure of inviting up on stage the signatories, namely Mr. Nirvan Chaudhary, Managing Director of CG Corp Global, and Mr. Nejat Murad Arkani, Business Chief, Turkcell. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you indeed. The third is the signing of an MOU between the Chief Minister of Chief Minister's Office of Province 2 and CG Infrastructure Private Limited for the development of solar photovoltaic energy. My pleasure of inviting up on stage the signatories, namely Honorable Mr. Lal Babu Raut, the Chief Minister from Province 2, and Mr. Nirvan Chaudhary, Managing Director, CG Infrastructure Private Limited. We shall be witnessing the signing ceremony of altogether 15 MOUs or agreements at this very August convergence, ladies and gentlemen. We're done with 3 and we're expecting 12 more up on stage. The signatories shall take their turns to make the initials. We shall skip number 4 for a bit and move to another MOU, ladies and gentlemen. That is an announcement of a financial investment confirmation of $650 million for the development of 216 megawatts Upper Trishuli 1 hydropower project by Korean investor KOSEP. For the announcement, I have the pleasure of inviting up on stage Mr. Hak Bin Kim, the Vice President of KOSEP. This, ladies and gentlemen, is just an announcement of a financial investment confirmation of $650 million for the development of Upper Trishuli 1 hydropower project.
Right Honorable Prime Minister K.P. Sharma, Honorable Mr. Luspa Kamal Dahal, and all distinguished guests. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Hak Bin Kim, the Executive Vice President of KOEN, South Korea. First of all, thank you very much for invitation to Nepal Investment Summit. It's my pleasure to be with government delegate, global business leader and expert from across the world. Today, I'm honored to be representing Korean government and KOEN. KOEN is a state-owned power company operating more than 11,000 megawatt capacity of power plant, involved more than 400 megawatt capacity of new and renewable power plant. KOEN took the first step in Nepal in 2011. We are the main sponsor of 260 megawatt Upper Trishuli 1 hydropower project. Project development agreement and power purchase agreement for the project are already signed with the government of Nepal and the Nepal Electricity Authority. Besides, the Nepal Water and Energy Development Company, the project company, is in the process of financing with international lenders, like Multilateral Development Bank and development finance institutions. Thanks to the government and the NA's support, the Nepal UT1 project has recently remarked a new milestone regarding the hedge fund. And taking this opportunity, I'd like to request one more things to the government to develop hydropower project in Nepal through foreign direct investment. Tax benefit is very crucial. So we hope the Nepali government to speed up for the extension of tax holiday. Within a month, we expect to sign the loan agreement of $615 million with the lenders. And thank you very much. And on behalf of sponsor of UT1 project, I'd like to give my commitment to start the main construction in October this year. When the construction is completed in 2024, the people of Nepal will be able to enjoy the stable power supply. In that regard, we would like to invite the Prime Minister to the groundbreaking ceremony held in this year. As the Prime Minister mentioned in his speech yesterday, I can see the political and the economic environment in Nepal becoming more favorable to foreign investors. And I could not agree more that improving power supply We lead Nepal to achieve rapid growth. For that, Korean is ready to join hand with the Nepali government, and your good partner, Korean will support Nepal to generate total capacity of 15,000 megawatt in 10 years through the additional investment followed by UT1 project. Once more, I'd like to thank the government of Nepal, Minister of Finance, Ministry of Energy, and the Nepal Electricity Authority for the support and cooperation. I'm sure this summit opened a door to a development of Nepal, and looking forward to seeing Nepal becoming prosperous in Southeast Asia. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Hak Bin Kim, the Vice President of COSEP. Getting back to the signing ceremony of the earlier announced MOU, ladies and gentlemen, we shall now witness the signing of MOU between the Chief Minister's Office of Province 2 and CG Infrastructure Private Limited for the development of solar photovoltaic energy. My pleasure of inviting upon stage Honorable Mr. Lal Babu Raut, the Chief Minister, Province number 2, and Mr. Nirvan Chaudhary, Managing Director, CG Infrastructure Private Limited. Thank you. Thank you very much. Next up is signing of a commitment letter, ladies and gentlemen, for financing of 900 megawatts of the Arun 3rd hydropower project. The total project cost of which is 11,228.85 crores NPR. And for the same, commitments have come about 6,560 crore from the State Bank of India, 812.61 crore from Everest Bank Limited, Nepal, and 487.58 crores pledge from Nabil Bank Limited. My pleasure of inviting up on stage the signatories, namely Mr. Satish Kumar Sharma, the Chief Executive Officer, Sutlej Jal Vidyut Nigam Arun 3rd Power Development Company, Mr. Swaroti Vinod Kumar, AGM State Bank of India, Mr. Girish Kohli, DGM Everest Bank Limited, and Mr. Anil Keshri Shah, CEO Nabil Bank Limited. The representatives from the signing companies may come up on stage for a quick photo op. If you could make it quick, we would appreciate that. I request our high dignitaries to kindly step forward. To our high dignitaries, the honorable ministers. Thank you, gentlemen. We request the representatives up on stage to kindly make it quick in the interest of time. I request the honorable ministers to kindly step forward. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you indeed. This was the signing of a commitment letter for financing the 900 megawatts Arun 3rd hydropower project. Ladies and gentlemen, now we will be witnessing the signing of a joint development agreement between Yunnan Sinhua Water Conservancy and Hydropower Investment Company Limited, Hydro Solutions Group, and Shanghai Investigation, Design and Research Institute Company Limited for the development of the 164 megawatts of Kaligandaki Gorge hydropower project. May I invite the signatories up on stage, Mr. Gyanendra Lal Pradhan, the Chairman of Hydro Solutions Group, and Mr. Zhu Zhengsheng, Chief International Business, Yunnan Sinhua Water Conservancy and Hydropower Investment Company Limited. The signing of the joint development agreement between Yunnan Sinhua Water Conservancy and Hydropower Investment Company Limited, Hydro Solutions Group, and Shanghai Investigation, Design and Research Institute. And this is for the development of 164 megawatts Kaligandaki Gorge hydropower project. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. We move forth with signing of an agreement now that is between Investment Board of Nepal, International Finance Corporation IFC, and Specific Economic Zone, that says authority for the development of Simara says on PPP. Ladies and gentlemen, my pleasure of inviting up on stage the CEO of the Investment Board of Nepal, Mr. Mahaprasad Adhikari, the CEO of says Dr. Chandika Bhatta, Ms. Wendy Werner, Regional Manager, Nepal, Bhutan and Bangladesh from IFC, and Mr. Pankaj Sinha, Senior Investment Officer, IFC. This is an agreement for the development of Simara Special Economic Zone based on PPP between Investment Board of Nepal, the International Finance Corporation IFC, and Special Economic Zone, that is SEZ. Thank you. We move on to the signing of another agreement, and this one is between Sincere Consulting Company Limited and Resources Himalaya Boutique Village Resort Private Limited for the development of Himalaya Boutique Village Resort in Banepa, ladies and gentlemen. That's cozy resort, South Asian herbal detoxification spa, time-sharing villas, open zoo, adventurous sports in Nepal. That's what this resort would comprise. And the signatories up on stage are namely Mr. Gyanendra Lal Pradhan, the Executive Chairman of Resources Himalaya Boutique Village Resort Private Limited, and Ms. Eddie Hisia, Managing Director, Sincere Consulting Company Limited. Thank you, gentlemen. Next up is a signing of a MOU for setting up a 10 billion NPR fund by the Non-Resident Nepalese Association, ladies and gentlemen. For signing the MOU, I have the pleasure of inviting up on stage the signatories, Mr. Bhavan Bhatta, President NRNA, and Mr. Binod Prakash Singh, Director General, Department of Industries. This is a MOU for setting up a 10 billion rupees fund by the NRNA, that's the Non-Resident Nepalese Association. Thank you, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the 10th is signing of a joint venture agreement between National Collateral Management Services Limited and Nepal Warehouse Company Limited for the development of a grain warehouse. My pleasure of inviting up on stage the signatories, Mr. Anand Bagaria, Managing Director, Nepal Warehousing Company Limited, Nepal, and Mr. Anupam Kaushik, the Deputy CEO, National Collateral Management Services Limited, India. Thank you, gentlemen. Next is the signing of MOU between Federation of Contractors Associations of Nepal FCAN and Myanmar Licensed Contractors Association MLCA for infrastructure development cooperation. My pleasure of inviting up on stage Mr. Rabi Singh, the President of FCAN, and Mr. Yu Kyo Win, the President of MLCA. This marks the exchange of the MOU, once again, for infrastructure development cooperation between the Federation of Contractors Association of Nepal FCAN and Myanmar Licensed Contractors Association MLCA. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Next is an announcement, ladies and gentlemen, of 39.90 crore investment by Muthoot Finance India in United Finance Limited in Nepal. My pleasure of inviting up on stage for the announcement Mr. Anil Karki, the country head, Muthoot Group Nepal. We skip this for a moment and move ahead, ladies and gentlemen, with the signing of MOU for mutual cooperation between Investment Board Nepal and Investment Board South Africa. For signing the documents, I have the pleasure of inviting up on stage Mr. Mahaprasad Adhikari, the CEO of the Investment Board of Nepal, and Mr. Yunus Hussain, the acting head, Invest South Africa, I beg your pardon. Thank you. Now, the signing of MOU between AP Power Company Limited Nepal and Karel Group of Companies, the United Kingdom, for the development of energy projects in Nepal. That includes 18 megawatts of solar power projects, 98 megawatts of hydro projects, and 10 megawatts of wind projects. For making the signatures, I have the pleasure of inviting up on stage the signatories, Mr. Guru Prasad Neopane, Chairman AP Power Company Limited, and Mr. Rajan Karel, the Chairman of Karel Group of Companies. Thank you. Thank you. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, is an announcement by the Dolma Himalaya Energy for the approval of Green Fund. I have the pleasure of inviting upon stage the MD of Dolma Himalaya Energy, Dr. Sandeep Shah, for the announcement.
Namaskar. My name is Sandeep Shah. I'm the Managing Director of Dolma Himalayan Energy, and we are looking at developing a solution for peak energy management here in Nepal. That is for dispatchable power available at any time of the day, using solar power as well as batteries to be connected to the grid. The first phase project that we have been looking at is a 150 megawatt project and a battery capacity of about 100 megawatt hours. I'm very pleased to announce today that we have entered into an arrangement with Climate Investor One, an FMO organization, which has approved the investment for $80 million in this project. And we are already started on this feasibility studies and the ESIA of the project. And we hope to commence construction in a year's time, and also in the meantime secure the balance finance. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings to a close the signing ceremony part of the closing ceremony. I now lead you to the special address session that features prominent business leaders. First and foremost, I have the pleasure of inviting upon stage Mr. Kerry Adler, the President and CEO of SkyPower.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, what a wonderful place it is to be in Nepal. I took my first yoga lesson today, and it started at 7 in the morning, and around 7:45 I started to feel that energy. Now I know why this is such a beautiful country. I wanted to share with you, we share something in common more than you know. And it starts with the color of our flag. As a proud Canadian, our flag, like yours, is red and white. Our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, has fantastic things to say about this country, and as many of you may have read recently, there was an agreement signed on the sidelines of the United Nations that deals with and addresses that Canada and Nepal are working towards fostering great relations together in agriculture and energy. Well, I'm in the energy business. I run SkyPower. We're the largest developer and owner-operator of solar energy projects in the world. About a year and a half ago, I had the pleasure of meeting the Chaudhry family at the United Nations, and they told me the story about this incredible country called Nepal and how people are so passionate about the environment. How could you not be? You live in the shadows of some of the greatest mountains that we've ever seen on the planet. When they told me about Nepal, I didn't fully appreciate what they meant when they said it is a country of warm people, honest people, hardworking people who want to build upon the economy. I can tell you that Canadians have a habit of it being attracted to good partners, great partners. Great countries where there's an opportunity to invest. And at SkyPower, in partnerships with the Chaudhry family, who are one of the best partners that we could ever have, because they're honest, they're forthright. They have shown at the United Nations, where I spend a great deal of time, that giving is as important as getting. And their recent report that was issued on their Sustainable Development Goals, I was sharing with the Secretary General, the head of the Global Compact, Lise Kingo, is an example for other companies in the world to follow. But that's not the only reason why we decided to partner. We are going to build 600 megawatts of solar. We're not only going to build solar, but we're going to build assembly plants here so that solar panels are going to be proudly assembled in Nepal. And it warms my heart to think that not only are we going to deliver clean energy, but we're going to deliver clean energy where the panels are assembled here. That means that your heart, your souls, and the economic benefit is going to stay here in this beautiful country. I know time is limited, but I did want to end with sharing with you a little story. You know, it warms my heart to see so many people gathered to look at all these opportunities for foreign investment. You know, our Prime Minister, Justin, who I know from many years, he said at the United Nations last year, no country can survive without foreign direct investment. I'm here to tell you today, we didn't come to sign an MOU. We've signed a framework agreement which sets the parameters for what we are going to do. It's not what we understand, it's how and when and why we're going to do it. So, this is not an empty promise. You know, 2030 is a key. You have targets that you are trying to achieve to be a middle-income country. I don't personally like the name least developed nation. How about winning an award as the most developed nation? That's the future of Nepal, and I am with our partners, the Chaudhry Group, Nirvana, Binod. Thank you for your support. Thank you for welcoming us here. Thank you for your hospitality. And to all of you gentlemen and excellencies, and to all of you, thank you for your kind hearts. We look forward to working here and creating jobs. Thank you.
And thank you to you, sir, for all the warm words and for the energy that you bring along. So that, ladies and gentlemen, we move ahead, and my pleasure of inviting up on stage Mr. Bhavan Bhatta, the president of the Non-Resident Nepalese Association.
Honorable Chief Guest, Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda, Honorable Minister for Industry, Commerce and Supplies, Matrika Prasad Yadav, Honorable Minister for Finance, Dr. Yuvaraj Khattiwada, Honorable Foreign Ministers, Pradeep Gyawali. First of all, allow me to congratulate the government of Nepal, especially Right Honorable Prime Ministers, Honorable Finance Ministers, CEO of Nepal Investment Board for the grand success of Nepal Investment Summit 2019. The numbers and the diversity of participants as well as the number of MOUs signed during this 2 days allows us to believe that international investors are now looking at Nepal as a destination for their investment. This is indeed the good beginning. The summit generated significant interest among diaspora. Many of the aspiring NRN participants could not be accommodated. This indicates the resolve of the NRN community to contribute in the country's development process. We have the first-hand experience of humiliations just because we are from a country with low per capita income. So we have to vested interest in making the country rich and prosperous. In today's world, investment is sought by all countries. I have personally experienced to what extent countries go to lure investors. The investment from outside helps to bridge the gap between the locally available and the required amount of resource. Moreover, this also helps to introduce modern technology and methods, assess new markets, and attain competitiveness. The summit is a good beginning to showcase Nepal as investment destination. The real success will be when formalities are completed, financial closure are made, plants and equipments become operational. I hope summit will trigger the chain reaction which will ensure the success. We are fortunate to know the culture and business both in Nepal and in the countries we reside. Nepalese have been slowly but firmly climbing the ladder of business and professional success in the countries they reside. We have spread our wings to know markets and ventures. Many of us have transformed ourselves from tailor to manager, from attendant to owner, from research assistant to team leader. This allows us to believe that we can be a link between Nepal and the country we reside and operate. The foreign investors who are looking at investment possibilities in Nepal can use the Nepalese from the diaspora community to negotiate the business routes of Nepal. The NRNs can be your Sherpas for business in Nepal. The government and the business within the country also need to look at NRNs as a link with the outside the world. The case of successful nation in attracting outside investment proves that the diaspora plays the grand role. I am proud to report to you that today we have formally entered into the MOU with the government of Nepal to tap resources of diaspora to create a common investment fund which will invest in innovative ventures as well as infrastructure projects in Nepal. With this initiation, we plan to use small saving to execute big project. It will be a special purpose vehicle which will allow investors to get a return and Nepal have an access to significant fund. During the current phase, we plan to raise 10 billion worth fund. This will be done through sell the shares to the NRN, which will also include the Nepali workers as well as foreign nationals of Nepali origin. This is different from other investment projects of NRNs, as it not an investment in one project, but an investment in a fund which will invest in various projects. In order to assure liquidity to the investors, the shares of the proposed company will be tradable in stock exchange of Nepal. We hope to make this company a game changer in the capital mobilization and corporate governance. Using the occasion, I call on the foreign delegates to enjoy the hospitality of Nepal. This is the country where people always smile, even sometimes at awkward moments. This is the land known for Atithi Devo Bhava, or a guest is a god and has been treated likewise. Thank you and dhanyavad. Wish you all very profitable business. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you indeed for all your efforts to inject that extra impetus to the development endeavors of Nepal. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me now to invite upon stage Mr. Binod Chaudhary, the chairman of Chaudhary Group, for his remarks.
Honorable Chair, Honorable Ministers on the dais, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to first of all thank the government for choosing a very opportune time for hosting this most important event of this year. Why the most opportune time? Because time has come when we need to give a message to the world that Nepal has survived despite 25 years long political transition. Now we have a government which is stable, a government which wants to take the reform process forward, which was left behind in 1992. And thank you for responding to the call of the government with this level of overwhelming enthusiasm. We are truly delighted. We, along with my non-resident sons, work in many different countries, including Nepal. While building the first and the only multinational, we consciously chose